Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. My name is Rebecca. Today, we're going to get right into the weekly outlook for Scorpio. I needed to take a little break because, Scorpio readings, on my channel, my Scorpio readings, they're always heavy, right? They always take a lot out of me. I love doing them. I love reading for Scorpio. So, let's get right into it. We're going to start off with pulling out your spirits of darkness and light oracle cards, and this is really to look at what kind of spirits you have. And I'm gonna, instead of going through the cards individually, I'm gonna pull out all the cards and then we'll get right into your reading. But let's get your oracle cards out first and see what Scorpio dealing with. What are you dealing with? What kind of energies are surrounding your relationship this week? All right. Now, this could be a relationship that you're in, that you're out of. Maybe you're on the outs. Maybe you're unchallenged. This could be a person coming back from your past. Or this could even be a relationship that's brand new, right? So we're going to take a look at it. But it is a weekly snapshot. This week's snapshot. So let's just see here. Scorpio. Hang on. I want to give it one more. All right, we have Spirit of the Scales and Spirit of Envy. Whew. All right, Spirit of the Scales, Spirit of Envy. Scales, of course, balancing, karma, right? And envy, well, that's easy enough to understand that it's definitely a spirit of darkness, discontent, resentfulness, miserableness. Somebody's pissed. Somebody's envious. Right? It could be somebody you're dealing with. But let's see what animal spirits you have going forward this week. What kind of animal spirits are impacting Scorpio and their relationship this week? Show me what's going on. The Scorpion. Wow. Okay, Scorpio and the Swan. Oh, man. Scorpio. All right, you're showing up in your own reading as an animal spirit. Now, I often say this, of course, Scorpion animal spirit is not the same as the Scorpio sun sign in the astrological chart, but they obviously have a lot of similarities. You got Scorpio energy here, and you have the Swan, fire and water. Right. Scorpion animal spirit is a fire elemental. And of course, you, Scorpio, you are a water elemental. So it's quite interesting that you would then have as your companion animal spirit this week, the Swan, which obviously talks about your partner. Very, very clear that this is a reading for a Scorpio who is dealing with a swan-like character. Certainly Swan energy is at play. And I'm going to get into that Swan card in a minute. But let's pull out your other cards first, Scorpio, and see. This is your... better knock the count. This is your 6-card outlook for you and your person. We're going to be pulling cards for them and for you. Show me what's going on in this with Scorpio. Show me, show me, show me. We want to know... All right, guys. Your person is resonating with the devil. You're resonating with 9 of Swords. They see you as a 10 of Swords, and you see them as justice. Scales coming out. They desire a Page of Pentacles, and you desire the Moon. Wow. Pisces energy. What needs to happen here? We have King of Wands for them. And for you, we have Knight of Swords. All right. Bottom of the deck, Scorpio, we have Ace of Swords. So really talking about clarity coming in. This week, there's going to be a sense of clarity that comes into this relationship. Or certainly there is clarity and understanding and clear understanding. And even a new understanding is the energy that's kind of the undercurrent in your relationship this week, Scorpio. Okay? So, wow, these are really some heavy cards because a lot of these cards have almost reclarified some of the energies. Spirit of the Scales, we have Justice. Scorpion energies come in. Let's get right into the reading, and then I'm going to come back to those animal spirits and how they fit in. But your person is resonating with the Devil. The Devil in Tarot, the Devil card in Tarot is also associated with Capricorn, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're dealing with a Capricorn. It just means that your person is resonating with the energy of this card. And so your person is, right now, they're really, I'm going to say they're really going through a very personal journey, right? Creative journey. Devil showed up for one of the other readings as well. I believe it was Cancer. And so the Devil is really, it's this kind of energy of when you're playing with fire, right? When you're unfulfilled, when you're creatively unfulfilled, and you begin to sort of go down that path of trying to find your fulfillment elsewhere, trying to find that instant gratification somewhere else, right? And so we tend to then go down that road of addictions and codependent relationships and what have you. The other, it's being a slave to a certain degree to your passions also. And your person is really wrestling with this energy this week, right? The Devil really represents at its core the internal power struggle that we all have to overcome our darker side, the side of ourself that would rather go down the road of easiness, instant gratification, sort of baser vibration energy, right? Or do we overcome that and sort of rise up? And that is the struggle with the Devil, and that's what your person is resonating with this week. You're resonating with Nine of Swords. So Scorpio, this week is really, you're coming into this week with a lot of anxiety. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety. We have Spirit of Envy here. So certainly there's an air of discontent and miserableness here. And if there's ever a card that represents misery, it is the Nine of Swords. It is oftentimes, though, that Nine of Swords very much represents the misery that we kind of put ourselves through. Anxiety is a miserable energy that we really visit on ourselves. It doesn't have any basis in fact. It doesn't mean that there's any real reason to be afraid. This is why we call it anxiety. And everyone has suffered with anxiety at some point or another, right? But Nine of Swords talks about that energy. That energy of having anxiety, sleepless nights, worrying about the past, ruminating over decisions that you've made. Did you make the right decision? And again, it's not indicative of any, it's not really representative of the truth in the relationship. You may not have anything to worry about in the relationship, yet you have the anxiety. So you're really going through, I want to say, a difficult time. 9 is the number for the Hermit. And so you are also feeling quite alone this week in this sort of anxiety. 9 of Swords talks about a feeling that comes over you that nobody else can help you with. And so it is very, very difficult. Spirit of Envy is there. And I think that may indeed be the source of it in terms of just like a resentfulness. There is a resentfulness maybe, or just simply a discontent there. I'm not sure if I would go so far as to say resentful. The feeling for me here is just more an unhappiness, a discontent. How do you guys see each other? Well, your person sees you as a 10 of Swords character, right? So really, 10 of Swords, Ten of Swords is interesting because it is really the death of the old ego. It is going through a lot of trials and tribulations. Look how many times this figure has been impaled, right, by these swords, right? And these swords represent blows to our ego. 10 of Swords. 10, of course, is the end of the line. It's completion, and it's hopefully a time where we kind of say goodbye to this kind of struggle, right? And rise up a different person who's not able to be hurt by the same swords. But the journey up to the 10 of Swords, these swords all represent various blows to our ego that we've taken in life, right? What are they? They can be losing a job. They can be trying to find a job and not being able to find a job. They can be blows to your ego that you've received in relationships if you've been hurt, or, these swords can represent any kind of event, occurrence, experience in your life that stabs your ego. This figure is representative of the ego in this card. That's the symbolism. So at some point, you've taken enough damage and enough batteries, Scorpio, and you know you're dead now. This person is now gone and dead. This persona, psyche, this psyche that you have. And what comes out of Ten of Swords is anew, because it's conclusion, it's ending, and it's also therefore the beginning of something new. So Ten of Swords is really a great energy. It's a great card to talk about someone who's really come to the end of, and I feel here for you, Scorpio, this is what your person is seeing in you, that you are kind of on a struggle. You're on a path that is a struggle. You've had to endure a lot. They see that you've had to endure a lot. I think your person absolutely recognizes the trials and tribulations you've been through. But I think they're seeing you also right now at a stage in your life where there's a possibility of it being behind you, right? Because it's an interesting card to come up in terms of how someone sees you. For someone to see you like a Ten of Swords, it can also be that your person is seeing you completely defeated, right? Because before we rise up, there's also that stage where we're just completely defeated, down for the count. And it could be also that for some of you Scorpios, in this particular connection, your person is seeing that right now you're in a place where you have been just cut down. You're seeing them as justice, balance. And so I think, of course, you are reaching out to them, or you are with them, or this connection is happening this week because this person represents a sense of balance for you that you've come to appreciate and need. Because for you in turn now to see, Scorpio, for you to resonate and see this person as Justice Major Arcana, this is someone who absolutely, definitely represents balance in your life. And that makes a lot of sense, Scorpio, because it isn't that you're so out of balance, but your emotions and you're an extreme individual, an extreme sign, right? The Scorpio energy is an extreme energy. And that's not bad, right? We need extreme energy, right? A supernova is extreme energy. But sometimes there needs to be more of a balance, right? And this balance for you, you are seeing this in your person. It can also be for some of you Scorpios that the person that you're dealing with is someone who is like this. They could be indeed someone who very much embodies this airy quality of always being very, very fair, being very balanced in their own life, the way they carry themselves. There can be an issue. For some of you, there is a legal issue here. So for some of you, there's a legal issue here. You may have been in a relationship with this person where there were agreements made and there is some kind of court issue, because the other thing with justice, sometimes it definitely brings in that energy of officialdom, right? Something has happened in an official capacity. A paper has been signed, a meeting has been had, a judge or a mediator has come in, right, to sort of mete out justice to a certain degree, right? And so for you to see your person as justice energy, it can be that something about this connection to you feels like it is bringing justice into your life. Something about being with this person almost feels, almost feels to you like it's what is meant and right to happen. It is just that you are with this person almost in a way. And somehow there is something about an official document or agreement coming through. And I think that is a message probably just maybe for one Scorpio out there. It's a very specific message that I just felt like I felt coming in, that I was reading basically in the card. And I felt strongly, but it's a very nuanced feeling, and I feel like it's just for one particular Scorpio out there. What do you guys desire? Well, your person desires Page of Pentacles. You desire Moon. Well, you will definitely, again, you feel like you're going through a testing phase, Scorpio. The Moon is all about a testing phase in our lives. A time in our lives where we are being put through our paces. Remember, Moon is the 18. The first 8 is strength. And with the strength card, we build our strength. But once we resonate up to the experience of the Moon, 18, now our strengths are being tested. This is why we walk through the valley of darkness. And a lot of times, of course, Moon energy the Moon card is associated with Pisces, your sister sign. But it is also associated with the darkness and the fear of the darkness, the fear of the hidden things that are in the darkness, right? Because you're walking by moonlight. You're walking by a light that does not reveal everything. And this is what makes the moon represents such a strong testing phase. When you're being tested, of course, you're not given all the information. That is the nature of a test, right? And that is also the nature of having to go through sort of a valley of darkness under a very minimal light, a reflected light, right? So a light that you can't really sort of depend on to reveal the whole truth, meaning the moonlight. And all of these things that, again, talk about anxiety, right? So a lot of this is where the anxiety is coming through for you, Scorpio. I feel like this is a relationship that you feel like is testing you in some way. And of course, this is the perfect type of thing for you to rise to, because Scorpio, this is absolutely in your wheelhouse. And then when we come into the Scorpion as an animal spirit, now I can begin to tell you a bit more about this, and it will start to fit into this read for you, Scorpio. Because the Scorpion animal spirit, fire elemental, is all about competitiveness, is all about sort of fighting. He's highly sensitive, highly protective of himself, right? The Scorpion also, this is the animal spirit for really, it's very, I want to say Saturn energy in a way. It's very much this energy of sort of being tested in terms of, can you let go? A lot of the testing associated with Scorpion energy is the ability to let go of resentments and discontent, spirit of energy. You know, the letting go of things that you've held on to in the past that hurt you or that piss you off or that still continue to irritate the shit out of you, right? Letting go of that. This is the challenge for the Scorpion animal spirit. And so, you know, this competitive nature that the Scorpion animal spirit is bringing to this read this week, and that you naturally have also, is all part and parcel of this desire for you to sort of, in your eyes, I want to say, come out successfully here in this connection with this person, because this entire connection feels to me for you, Scorpio, like it is a test. Now, your person is resonating with a desire of Page of Pentacles, which is for them, they just really want to have some stability, and they kind of want to start something new. I'm going to be honest with you. They want something new. Now, clearly they have a connection with you, but we have no cup energy here. So this is a connection, again, with somebody where it's a lot of passionate energies, a lot of mental energies, but it hasn't come down to the place of being just lovey-dovey, you know, relationship stuff. This is heavy. This is a heavy connection. Seeing each other like this. Heavy cards coming out. And this is what I say with Scorpio readings. It is always like that with you guys. Now, Page of Pentacles, your person, Page of Pentacles, like I said, they are really, truly desiring the active steps towards something new. Towards a new, perhaps, goal. A new, very tangible goal in their lives. And also when we talk about in relationship to this connection here with them, in with regards to your relationship. So it can be that there has been some, I feel certainly that there has been some challenge here in this connection, because why else would you feel so tested and so anxious? And I think that, again, your person really desires to a certain degree to really have this connection start on a new, solid, different, maybe not different. This, you know, the relationship should not be so different, right? You're still the same people, but for something concrete and stable and really sort of tangible to happen here in this connection. And they are kind of working towards that anyway, because they're coming into the week with devil energy, which the devil, by the way, again, is, you know, someone who's highly successful. Again, it is a card for Capricorn, right? This is, you know, this devil energy is somebody who's very, you know, very hardworking, makes money. You know, this is earth energy, which is very much associated with Page of Pentacles. Pages are always earth, so we have earth of earth and this strong earth devil card energy. So your person is already kind of, they're on their own kind of path of realizing something very tangible in their own lives. A lot of it has to do with their career and their own sort of business path or career path, or what it is that they do for money or for their livelihood. They're probably an artist coming in as a devil. So that's devil energy. So you're also dealing with someone who probably makes money out of their talent. So it's not like they just punch a clock, but they may do something. They may be an artist, or they may be a musician, or they may punch a clock, but the nature of their work is something that they are very talented at, excuse me, and something that they see as a real creative outlet. Now, what needs to happen? King of Wands and Knight of Swords. What needs to happen is quite interesting. For you, Knight of Swords, you really need to overcome any connections that are holding you back. Any connections to people, places, and things. Any connections to ideas even that continue to hold you back from your best possible self and future need to be cut away. This is what the Knight of Swords does. He really uses his mental faculties, his strong mentality. Knight of Swords is air of air energy. This is the ultimate air energy. So Knight of Swords really uses that strong mental capacity and strength to really sort of sever the ties that he or she has with things that are no longer good for him. And this is hard to do, and it does take a lot of mental strength to do that, fortitude, to be able to put up with the emotions of insecurity, guilt. Did I make the right decision? Didn't I? What will life be like without this person, or without this connection, or without this person, place, or thing that I've been connected to that has not been so good for me, right? All of these little things that come in when we make changes in our lives, you have to be strong to sort of deal with those things. You have to be very mentally strong, and you have to have a strong fortitude mentally to be able to see these sort of decisions through. And Knight of Swords is all about that. And this is what needs to happen for you. There needs to be a real concerted effort mentally wise, Scorpio, for you to really to make those changes in your life. And this is part and parcel of this kind of testing phase. Test being, are you willing to make the hard changes to get what you want? And in this case, to get what it is you want out of this connection with this person. Your person is resonating with King of Wands as what they are needing. So your person is absolutely needing to be able to materialize their vision. Again, King of Wands, devil energy. Shit. This person is probably somebody who is highly successful. Highly successful. Someone who's quite the visionary. Someone who resonates with strong fire energy with that King of Wands. Again, King of Wands, we have fire of fire. Right? We've had earth of earth with pages. Pages are always earth. Knights are always air. Kings are always fire. So we've had page of earth. Earth of earth. Knight of Swords, air of air. And now King of Wands, fire of fire. We're dealing with real sort of like strong energies here in this relationship. Whoever is fiery is fiery. Who's ever bringing that earthy quality that day is bringing that earthy quality. It's very, very intense connection. And so this is definitely a reading for a Scorpio who is dealing with a very intense, independent, highly creative, probably somewhat dysfunctional. Well, I would say functioning, sort of crazy, right? I don't know that they're that dysfunctional. They're probably functioning, but they're probably somebody you're dealing with who has so much fire and so much creativity and so much vision. But then at the same time, with this devil energy, they're very easily weakened. So you're dealing with a very mercurial person, a very fiery person, certainly an artist. And what needs to happen for them to be able to be happy and to see themselves in this connection, right? To see this connection at a place where we are looking for positivity. Your person has to be able to have the freedom to see their vision through King of Wands. Or certainly the support of someone who wants to see their vision through. So they have to feel very much like you are invested in them also, Scorpio. I know that this whole thing feels very much like a test for you. Again, I said there's no cup energy. So there's no, you know what I mean? There's the waters are not running between you guys just yet. But nevertheless, this is what's needed for your person. Certainly that support, that, I want to say, passion for what they're doing as well, and for their ability to see their own vision also. I'm going to leave it at that, Scorpio. This is your reading for you and your person for this week. Your relationship outlook. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do. Oh, and I didn't even get a chance. But swan, again, like I said, highly creative. The swan is the animal spirit for the artist, who is the writer, the singer, the poet. Right? Svarashakti, the Hindu god of poetry and beauty. This is her totem animal. So again, it just speaks to the fact, and again, swan energy is an artist who is taking the time to refine their art. So it's somebody who's doubling down on all the work that they're doing in their art and really refining it, actually, right? So again, their work, their creativity, and all of that is in sharp focus for a swan individual. And that very much ties in with everything that I've said about the type of person that you're in a relationship with. All right, this is now the true and final ending of this reading, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe. Let me see if I can get my little subscribe button up there. Yeah, please subscribe. There you go. I didn't mean to end that like that. There you go. That goes like that. And leave me a comment, right? Share the video, all of that. Good stuff. But for right now, I'm going to take a break. And I'm going to be back with the fire signs. Yeah, I'm going to be back with the relationship outlook tonight in just a few minutes. I think I'm going to start off with Leo. We'll go into Sagittarius, and then we'll go into Aries. All right, Scorpio, but for right now, have a wonderful week. I love you guys so much. Take care. Please stay safe out there. Stay healthy. All of that. All right. Love you. Bye-bye.